So thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Good morning. I'm Steph Reyes, Program Officer for Arts and Creativity at the Community Foundation of Western Massachusetts. My pronouns are she, her, ella, and I'll pass it to my colleague Nicole.
Morning, everyone. I'm Nicole Borden. I'm the Senior Program Officer at the Community Foundation of Western Mass, working on arts and creativity with staff. My pronouns are she, her, and I'll pass it over to my colleague over Assets for Artists, Molly.
Hey all, I'm Molly, write out pronoun she, her. I'm representing the Assets for Artists team, which will be doing the kind of like program deployment of this grant. And we'll talk a little bit more about what all that means soon.
And I'll pass it to Tessa.
Hey everyone, I'm Tessa Minati and I'm the grant administrator at the Community Foundation. My pronouns are she, they, which Zoom is not letting me change, but nice to meet you all.
Thank you. Okay, so I will start sharing my PowerPoint. Give me a second. Oh, okay, great. So I cannot see everyone's faces, but please unmute if you have a question or drop it in the chat. Okay. Let's see. Seems like everything is working. Okay. So first I want to start with if you need any accommodation during any phase of your application process, please reach out to me so we can talk a little bit more about what are your needs. Today, we will briefly talk about the capacity building grant program, including the program timeline, who is eligible to apply, the selection criteria, what the application contains, and we will have time to answer any of your questions. And I'll pass it to Nicole to talk a little bit about ValleyCreates.
Yeah, ValleyCreates is the arts and creativity program at the Community Foundation of Western Mass. We've been around since 2019, and we've been working to support the arts sector in three really distinct ways. One of them is through grant making to arts organizations and artists. One is through capacity building opportunities. This opportunity combines all of our strategies. So building the capacity of arts organizations and artists. And also the third is through opportunities for connection and collaboration. So we regularly host networking events to connect artists with each other, artists and organizations, just to help to build a stronger ecosystem here in Western Mass. And then in terms of our role with this process, ValleyCreates runs the application. We do the artist selection in collaboration with community members. We host different networking events with our current grantees and alumni of the ValleyCreates program. And I'll pass it over to Molly to talk about Assets for Artists' role in this.
Yeah, hey. So Assets for Artists is an independent nonprofit, newly independent. We used to be a program of Mass MoCA. So if you're familiar with us from that time, so we've struck out on our own. So we're an artist service provider that serves all of New England with a lot of our work centered here in Massachusetts. So we offer online workshops, one-on-one coaching, and then what we call our capacity building program, which is what this collaboration is focused on. So we will be doing kind of the actual programming component of this collaboration. So this like cohort that will run for 6 months, our staff are going to be the ones communicating with all the artists, bringing everyone together, kind of doing that coordination, pairing people up with coaches, doing check-ins, one-on-ones. Um, and then as a alum of this program, you'll have access to awesome alumni programming that the Community Foundation does, and Assets for Artists is starting to kind of roll out some new alumni opportunities as well that we're still figuring out in our independence. But you'll have access to those as an alum of both organizations at the same time.
Awesome. Thank you both. Um, okay, let's see if I can advance here. Awesome. Okay. So, yeah, this is what Molly talked about briefly. Though I don't know if you want to talk a little bit more
Yeah, I
in this
can go
side.
into a
Yeah.
little more detail. So the capacity building program, it combines both of physical grant, but also some like intensive opportunities for what we call artist professional development. So you will get a grant of 2,500 that in most cases, because of some partnerships that we work with, will be non-taxable to you. And you'll also get access to, we're going to have an in-person workshop, specifically around planning. We'll have online workshops. We offer, like over the course of the 6 months, there'll probably be like 10 to 15 online workshops that we'll have. We're going to all come together at some very specific moments. We'll do like a kickoff gathering of everybody. We'll have a moment where the cohort comes together to share work with each other, and a field trip at the end. There'll also be some an opportunity to come together like in smaller groups as well, like regular check-ins. And just overall opportunities to really like focus on whatever your particular goals are for your creative practice. And so we work one-on-one with each of you to kind of individualize like what resources can we provide? Is there a particular coach from our roster of about 50 artists, artist coaches who can support you in whatever your thing is? I will say that how we identify capacity building is it's like everything about your creative practice except making your work. So if you're looking for an opportunity to have like a crit group or feedback on your work, that's not this. This is very specifically on kind of the like business or community building elements of your practice. So that could be anything from like taxes to websites to like how to collaborate together to how to connect with city governments to get public art commissions, to how to like publish your work or perform, those kind of components as opposed to like how to write your music or how to like make a better short story. Um, and see if I have anything else to say about it. Um, this is also not a project grant, so you're not going to be asked to like complete something like a physical art thing by the end. This is really focusing on like your professional development as an artist. And so that's really the focus. So if if you are interested in putting the money towards a project, that's fine. We don't really care what you put the money towards. You could also put it towards rent. So just wanted to kind of clarify that piece too. Thanks, Steph.
Thank you. Awesome. Okay. So let's talk about the application timeline. The application opened yesterday, March 9th, and the deadline to submit your application is April 20th at noon, not at 11:59 p.m. or midnight, at noon. I know it's a little strange for an application to close at noon, but we do it in that way just in case you have any questions. You can, write to us in that afternoon. By June 9th, the decisions will be announced, and then in June 2026, sorry, not 2025, we will have the welcome phone calls. Pass it to you, Molly.
All right, so we talked about a few of these in kind of abstract, but here are some dates for you. So we'll have that kickoff event I mentioned at the beginning of July. We'll have that in-person all-day workshop on like how to plan and like set goals towards your own practice. Like what are you moving toward and what could it take to get there? That'll happen in September. In October, my colleague Brianna Halpin, who will be the one kind of holding everything through this process, she'll do one-on-one check-ins with all of the cohort members, just be like, how's it going? Are you making any progress on your own personal goals? Is there anything that I can connect you with to like keep that going forward? And then later that month, we'll also come together to share work with each other. And then at the very end of the 6 months, we'll have a final field trip. And I think we're still kind of pinning down where we're going to go with that, but it'll be someplace fun and an opportunity to come together, see art, be in community.
It's really fun. Okay, so who can apply to this program? The artist needs to live or have a studio space in Hamden, Hampshire, or Franklin County, and be a 20 plus years old individual artist in any creative discipline. These funds are also intended to support individual artists only. The Community Foundation has other opportunities that support nonprofits and fiscally sponsored organizations. Funding cannot support artists who are recipient of previous ValleyCreates working capital or capacity building or project evolution grants. And again, programming or operations of a 501(c)(3) organization is not eligible. So let's talk briefly, very briefly about the application because we will look at the system and the application later. But the application is online, available now in our grant system, and you will need to fill out a section with your personal information, then three narrative questions. Here I want to leave that in the narrative section. We do not necessarily ask you to write an extensive answer, and you'll see a max of characters allowed in each question. And I want to emphasize that you may use as many characters as you like, but using all of them are not necessary. And work samples. So let's talk a little bit about work samples. You will be required to submit samples of your creative work in one of the formats listed here. You only have to select one option. When I say one option is if you are only submitting images, you select images and you will have five uploads for that section. If it's test-based work, we ask you submit up to 10 pages total. So you only have to upload only one document, or if it's two short stories, then two documents, but 10 pages total. If it's video or audio, submit 3 to 5 shorter work samples or one longer work sample up to 15 minutes long. We only accept links to video, no, not uploaded files here. So you will need to upload it to YouTube or Google Drive. Make sure that is public. And if it's not public, please add your password. Then if you are if you are a multimedia artist or if you're an artist that document your work with images, text, you have the option to submit a combination of formats: images, text, audio, and video. Here we ask you submit 5 total work samples if you select combination of formats. A note on artificial intelligence. If AI has been used as a tool to support your work in some way, you have to include an explanation. And works purely generated through AI are not eligible for this program. So some recommendations for the work samples. Do your work samples demonstrate a cohesive and current artistic vision? Whether your practice is focused within one discipline or is multidisciplinary, we encourage you to submit work that reflects what you are actively developing and where you hope to take your practice next. Including too many varied or older samples without a clear context can make it harder for reviewers to understand your current focus and direction. A question that you may consider when you are selecting your work samples is, does my work sample selection demonstrate a cohesive and a current artistic vision as articulated in the narratives section? You'll see that the first narrative question is about your artistic practice. So is it cohesive? Does it make sense? What I'm saying with what I'm submitting in the work samples. And then, is it current? When possible, samples should not be more than 5 years old. The program looks to support the artist you are today and creative work you plan to pursue in the future. The selection criteria. Applications will be reviewed by community members of the creative sector and staff based in Hamden, Hampshire, and Franklin County. All applicants will be assessed based on the following criteria. Applicant's strength and dedication to their to their artistic practice. For example, here they will review your work samples, the clarity on what your artistic practice is, your commitment to the practice. The second selection criteria is applicants' clarity on future goals and growth. Here, what is next for you as an artist, and is it clear in the application? And the last one, I think, is pretty self-explanatory. Applicants' demonstration of how they will benefit from this program. Lastly, preference will be given to artists historically under-resourced, artists working in rural or geographically isolated communities, artists whose communities, including BIPOC communities, have faced systemic barriers to access, including but not limited to funding, visibility, and space. And artists who are in the mid stages of their career are especially encouraged to apply to this program. Any questions? Okay, I think we're good. Awesome. So let's quickly look at, let me stop sharing, at the application.
When we put the link in the chat stuff.
Yes, that's awesome too. Yeah, that's the link to the system. I don't know if you all have created an account already, but let's look at how to create an account first. Okay, awesome. So this is our system. If you need to create a new account, you come go here, and then here you will put all your information. I just want to move your attention to this. Where is it? Okay, here. Please choose the response that best describe your organization. You are applying as an individual artist. So when you click here, you will select an artist applying to ValleyCreates and then enter 99 and then 7 nines after the dash for your EIN. Okay, so this number is what you're going to put in your tax EIN. 99 dash and 7 nines after that. Okay. So the system allows you to apply as an individual artist because our system was built for organizations and not individuals. And yeah, and that should be all set. You click next and you should be able to access the application. So now I will go to our sandbox to look at the application. Here, ValleyCreates Artist Capacity Building 2026. I already applied my fake account. So all the information will be up here. Make sure that everything is correct. Again, you have the guidelines, the timeline, the funding preferences, and then your personal information. Artist website here. If you don't have a website, that's okay. You can also submit the link to your Instagram or your Facebook if that's where you post your work. But that is not required, that not all artists have a website. So that's okay. Um, Personal information, and this is the section, the application section where we ask you the three narrative questions. Here, the artistic practice. Please tell us about your current artistic practice and your work, what you create, and why. I think this is the one that is particularly important to look at it and make it clear with your work samples as well. The second one is what's next? What's next in your artistic creative journey? Have you identified potential areas for growth or direction you wish to pursue? Then here is you just need to select as many boxes as you want, but we ask you to please do not choose more than three. So really select the ones that you feel that will be most valuable to you as an artist. And then to explain a little bit, maybe select one or two of those things that you selected above, and explain why, if there's any additional context that you want to share. And timing of the opportunity, capacity building. This program, it's as Molly mentioned, it's not just the funding. It includes so many other things for capacity building and professional development. So we're really looking to support artists that can take advantage of the whole program. So why is now the right time for you to engage in this program? And how will one or two of the supports you selected above help expand and deepen your work?
Yeah, Steph, if I could just jump in because I
Yeah.
forgot to mention that like if you are just looking for grant money, this is not the program for you, because we will really be looking at those who do want to take advantage of all those other pieces that we were outlining. So just to kind of be transparent on that, that
Mhm.
if you're just looking for grant money to do something, awesome, but this isn't the right program for you.
Thank you, Molly. Yeah. Um, Okay, and then the work samples section. As I just explained, you have 5 different ways to submit your work. You only need to select one. A quick example, if you're a visual artist, you may only select images. So you select images and documents here, and then you will have 5 uploads. So you can upload your 5 pictures here and then add a description of the work. The description of the work is very important. So I will encourage you to explain and describe your work as much as possible, as well as, dimensions of the artwork if it's a visual art, length of the work if it's performing arts or film, right? If you're only submitting 10 minutes, but it's an hour-long film, let us know that, right? It is an extensive work, but I only submitted 10 minutes. That is very valuable information for the reviewers. Um, if you are selecting, let's just select another one, the combination of links and images. Let's say you're a multidisciplinary artist. Um, so you can submit a text work or a photo here, another text work, a photo here. Um, and then you can submit a link to a video if it's a sculpture and you took a photo, but you want to also submit a video of the sculpture. and another link. And lastly, the closing comments. If there's anything else you want to share with reviewers, with us, this is completely optional. You don't have to fill out this section, but it's there for you if you want to share anything else. And we have a mailing list if you want to receive our monthly newsletter. I will encourage you to click here and sign up for our newsletter and to receive any other opportunities that um, may come in the future. And that's it. That's the application. Let me put back this so I can share with you here. So you have any other questions while you are filling out the application? We will have 3 other info sessions. They will not be a webinar like this one. It will be just me, Nicole, and Molly or Brianna in that space for an hour, looking at each other, waiting for people to come in and ask questions. So you can come anytime during that hour. Let's say Monday, March, you cannot make it at 3, but you can make it at 3:30. We will be there waiting for you. And you can ask any questions. More people may be in the room or not. So, but we can also have like a separate room if your question is very specific or you don't want it to share with everyone in the room. That's okay as well. So we will have three sections, 3 office hours, one on Monday, March 23rd, Thursday, April 2nd, and Wednesday, April 15th. You can also email me. And yeah, and if it's something regarding the grant system, you can email me, but you can also email Tessa.